In the busy city of Kaduna, in a small 3-bedroom flat in Sabon Tasha, lived the Bala family. To outsiders, they seemed like a perfect Christian family. Mr. Bala, a senior accountant, a deacon in their church, a man who loved to speak during testimonies. Mrs. Bala, a market trader, a strong prayer leader known for her fierce prayers. They had 4 children: Seun, the oldest, 13, David, 11, Daniel, 9, and little Grace, only 5. Every Sunday, they went to Winners Chapel. Sitting in the 3rd row, they sang, prayed, and lifted their hands. But sometimes, Sunday clothes cannot hide pain. Some homes, even Christian ones, have dark secrets hidden behind smiles. Seun used to be happy. In old photos, she had bright eyes, a gap-toothed smile, and neat cornrows with colorful beads. She was a joyful 8-year-old, full of life. But everything changed. One Tuesday night, 3 weeks after her 8th birthday, Mr. Bala came home late, smelling of alcohol and something else, something dark. He went to Seun's room, where she shared a bed with little Grace, who was sleeping peacefully. What happened that night changed her life forever. He told her it was a special secret. He told her if she ever told anyone, something terrible would happen to her mother. He said she was his special girl, and this was how fathers showed love. He lied, and she could not understand, could not fight back, could not escape. And then he left her in the dark. Seun cried silently, her body hurt, her soul breaking in ways she would only understand years later. It happened again, every week, for years. By the time Seun was 13, it had become part of her life. Morning prayers, evening devotions, family dinners, and then the nights of fear when her father came. She learned to stay very still, to think of other things, counting cracks in the ceiling, reciting school lessons, imagining she was far away in a safe place. Her mother noticed changes but misunderstood them. Seun no longer laughed, played, or asked for new things. Her mother thought it was adolescence or bad influence. Her father gave her gifts, expensive shoes, money, clothes, a new phone. To others, it looked like favoritism. To Seun, it felt like chains, reminders of her silence. At school, her grades dropped. Her friends noticed.
Mom, what's wrong? I can't talk about it,
she whispered. But she was not fine. She cried in secret, hiding behind the school building until her chest hurt, until her eyes were swollen. It was her teacher, Mrs. Okonkwo, who finally saw her.
Seun, what's wrong? I can't talk about it,
Seun whispered. That evening, the teacher called Mrs. Bala. When her mother confronted her, it was not gentle.
Are you possessed by a demon?
She shouted. Her father smiled behind his newspaper, saying nothing. The prayers and fasting did not help, because the demon Mrs. Bala wanted to remove was really her father, hiding in plain sight. Seun grew thinner, stopped eating, always afraid. One night, she couldn't take it anymore. She got up quietly, took a small kitchen knife, and tried to hurt herself. 3 small cuts. She felt like dying. Then Grace appeared. "Mommy! Daddy! Seun is dying!" she screamed. Seun was taken to the hospital. The cuts were not fatal, but needed stitches. Mrs. Bala accused Seun of being a witch. Then came the signs of her body breaking, pain, bleeding, vomiting. Mrs. Bala confronted her.
Have you been with boys? No, it's Daddy.
Mrs. Bala slapped her.
You lying demon.
She shouted. Mr. Bala, calm, said,
You need deliverance soon.
She was sent out of the house, 13 years old, homeless, and 4 months pregnant with her father's child. Seun didn't know where to go. The streets of Kaduna at night were dangerous. She walked without thinking, her feet moving while her mind tried to understand everything that had just happened. She had told the truth, and it had cost her everything. She walked until she reached the motor park. There were small stalls for traders, some open, some locked. One stall had a broken padlock. Seun slipped inside. It smelled of old bread and kerosene, but it was shelter. She curled up on the concrete floor, crying until her tears ran out. She survived. Seun learned to scavenge. Behind the market was a dump site. She waited for trucks, then joined others picking through garbage for food. Bread, fruit, even half-eaten rice from restaurants. She learned to be thankful, even for stale bread. Her body was changing. Her stomach grew rounder, her breasts swollen. The warehouse Seun used for shelter offered no comfort. Rain pounded the roof. She was alone with pain she had never felt before. At dawn, the baby arrived, a tiny, slippery bundle. Seun held him. He was perfect, innocent, unaware of the horror that created him. Something extraordinary happened. Seun felt a presence, warm, guiding her hands, helping her care for the baby. For 3 days, Seun tried to care for the baby. Samuel, the name she gave him in her heart. Samuel cried constantly. By the 3rd day, he had a fever. She was 14, homeless, sick, starving, and watching her son die. That night, she made a decision. She could not save him, but maybe someone else could. She held him so dearly, then made the hardest decision in her life. Tears streamed down her face as she walked away. She ran, putting distance between herself and the unbearable thing she had just done. The next 5 years were hard. She was introduced into prostitution as a means of survival. By 19, Seun, now called Cherry, worked in a brothel in Lagos. Her survival came at a cost, and the story was far from over. Directly across from the brothel where Seun lived was a small wooden kiosk. An elderly woman sold roasted groundnuts there. Her name was Mama Chinedu. Mama Chinedu never judged. She measured the nuts into a small plastic bag. "God bless you, my daughter," she would say. One day, Seun noticed the boy. He was about 8 years old, with bright eyes and a serious face, helping his grandmother at the kiosk while doing his homework in a torn notebook. He watched Seun closely. One evening, he approached her.
Good evening, sister.
Good evening.
He held out a small tract, a little booklet about Jesus.
Please, I have something for you.
No, thank you.
Please, just read it. It talks about how God loves you.
God doesn't love people like me.
That's not true. Jesus said he came for sinners, not for righteous people.
Seun walked away, but the boy's words followed her like whispers in her mind. Every day it became a pattern. Chinedu talked, Seun refused, but slowly something in her began to listen. One evening, after a very rough client, Seun found herself walking to Mama Chinedu's kiosk, not for groundnuts, but for something she didn't know she needed.
You look sad today. Are you okay?
Seun's throat tightened. No one had asked her that in years.
I am fine.
That's not true. But always remember that Jesus loves you. Please read this.
When he held out the tract, Seun took it. Seun sat in her small brothel room and read the tract. It had, "Come to me all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Matthew 11:28. Weary, that was her. Tired of selling her body, tired of pretending, tired of pain. The next morning, Seun told Big Madam she was leaving. She left with her savings, walked straight to Mama Chinedu's kiosk, and she accepted her as though she has been waiting for her. Change did not happen all at once. Mama Chinedu gave her shelter, food, and acceptance. Seun started going to a small church. She finally told her story to someone. Pastor James listened. He didn't condemn her. He wept with her. Slowly, Seun healed. Therapy helped her understand trauma. She learned to trust God, to forgive herself. But one wound remained. Samuel, her abandoned son. She prayed for him every day. She now worked in an NGO, helping vulnerable children. She even led a support group for abused young women. God had changed her life. But there was still one ache in her heart. She didn't know what happened to her son. One Sunday, visitors came to her church. They were from an orphanage in Kaduna. After the service, Seun walked up to Mrs. Adeyemi. With trembling lips, she told her about the baby she had abandoned years ago. Then she whispered.
We found him.
Seun's heart stopped.
Is he okay? Yes, he's in Sunday school.
Seun looked through the window. And there he was. Her heart froze. That boy. The little boy who once shared a gospel tract with her. The one who told her about Jesus. That boy was Samuel, her son. Reunion was careful, delicate. Pastor James and the Adeyemis agreed Samuel was still too young to know everything. So they introduced her slowly. Over the months, Seun became part of his life. 1 year later, when Samuel turned 9, the Adeyemis told him the truth. Sister Seun is your birth mother. Samuel looked at her.
Really?
She nodded.
But why did you leave me?
I had no choice.
Seun took a deep breath. I was very young, very sick, very scared. I wanted you to have a better life than I could give you. And God answered that prayer. Samuel was quiet. Then he smiled.
So you're like Moses' mother?
Moses' mother?
Yes, she put him in a basket so he could be saved. That's what happened to me. Tears rolled down her face. He hugged him.
Thank you for saving me and for coming back to my life.
2 years later, Seun was sitting in an office in Kaduna. It belonged to the NGO she now ran. She called it Samuel's House, a safe home for abused girls. On the wall hung a photo, Samuel at 11 standing between Seun and the Adeyemis. One day, a new girl arrived. 15 years old, pregnant, traumatized. Her name was Blessing.
I'm too dirty, too broken.
Blessing whispered. Seun knelt before her.
I used to think the same.
She said gently. Then she told her everything. The abuse, the rejection, the prostitution, the baby she abandoned, and the redemption that followed. She showed her the photo.
That boy is the baby I abandoned, and God used him to save me.
Blessing cried. That night, she gave her life to Christ. Healing had begun. But there was still one chapter left. Forgiveness. Seun arranged to meet her parents at Pastor James's church. Her mother cried the moment she saw her.
I was wrong. Please forgive me. You were telling the truth all along.
Seun told them everything. She showed them Samuel's photo. I didn't come to rebuild a relationship, she said calmly. I came to forgive you because I deserve peace. And when she walked away, she felt free. 5 years later, Seun stood on a stage in Lagos. Behind her was a banner, Samuel's House Annual Fundraiser, Restoring Broken Vessels. The hall was full. Donors, supporters, over 50 girls who had been rescued. The Adeyemis sat in the front. Samuel, now 16, already preaching with power. Pastor James was there. Even her siblings sat quietly at the back, slowly rebuilding their bond with her. Seun took a deep breath, and she began.
7 years ago, I was ready to die, but God had a different plan. The child I abandoned became the instrument of my salvation. The shame that nearly destroyed me became the seed of my purpose. And today, broken girls are finding hope. Because our mistakes are never greater than God's mercy.
He heals the brokenhearted and binds up their wounds. Psalm 147, verse 3.